The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
In the 90s, for example, when you switched on the radio, you'd hear a variety of different hip-hop styles, and dudes were making a variety of different styles. You know, I remember the 90s being the era where you couldn't come out looking or sounding like the next. You know, once Daz Effects come out with the Iggity and the dreads, you can't just come out and do that. You know, like when Snoop comes out with his style, you couldn't just come out and do that instantly. You know, whereas, you know, I find that these days we're in an era now where that's not quite as important as it once was.
It's not important at all because all the music on the radio sounds the same. You know, and I'm kind of like, you know, I'm with Big Suge when he says, you know, let's get some balance in the game. You know, I'm not saying get rid of all the music that's on the radio or on TV. I'm just saying throw a little bit of us in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like throw a little bit of, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Real hip hop, good hip hop, whatever. I mean, that's all relative. You know, it's a matter of opinion, but just throw a little more underground in there too, man. Get a little more variety. You know, you got down south trap music on 10 out of 10 songs. You know what I'm saying? And you know, let's get a little something else in there as well. You know, and we'll start with 2, maybe 3 out of the 10, whatever. And then eventually let's do 5 and 5, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think there needs to be a balance, you know, because there's a lot of people like me that would love to listen to the radio, but I don't because I don't relate to any of the music that's on the radio. So,
do you have an opinion as to why that is the way that it is?
I mean, music is commercial now. You know, it used to be something that you did because you loved it, because you enjoyed it, and the money was kind of a secondary aspect. But now money is number one. It's a business. So whatever sells records, that's what they're going to put on the radio or on TV. That's what they're going to use to sell their product. And, you know, you have a lot of younger kids, you know, 14, 15, 16 buying music, and that's what they like. They like to turn up, you know, but who turns up every day of the week? You might turn up once a week on Saturday night or Friday night and Saturday night. What do you do the rest of the week? Like, that music doesn't relate to, you know, people can't relate to that, you know, and whatever. I mean, I'm not hating or anything, and you know, to each his own. You know, I'm sure our parents and grandparents hated our music when we were young too. So, you know, it is what it is. Things change and eras change, but it's just become so commercial now that, you know, they do whatever they can to sell a product. See, like, what makes me mad though is like there's certain people in the industry and certain artists in the industry at the top of the industry, the upper echelon, that have so much influence over the rest of the industry, and not just the industry, but the rest of the fans, but they're not doing anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all about making their money as well. And I think we know some of the people that I'm talking about, but they have, if they say, yo, I'm not wearing jerseys anymore, I'm going to wear a button-up shirt in their raps. And then you have millions and millions and millions of fans that stop wearing jerseys and start wearing button-up shirts because you said it. Or if you start talking about, yo, you're not cool unless you wear a fitted hat or whatever, and you have millions and millions of fans following you, and not even just fans, but the rest of the industry making songs about that now too, because of what you said, because you're the king, or other kings and whatever. Oh, the influence is crazy. And it's up to you to like, yo, why don't you turn that around? I say that about like hip hop, man, in general. Like there's certain, you know, artists in the industry that can reach out or reach down to certain producers in the industry, make albums with them. And then all of a sudden you'll see all kinds of other artists in the industry, upper echelon artists, doing the same thing. Therefore, we just combined, I guess you say, the commercial and the underground and make it all one. There's a lot of things that people can do, but I think it starts up top. You know, I think it starts up top, and not even just the not the execs, but the upper echelon artists, the people who have pull and influence in the game. You know, despite however much money they're gonna lose, they got enough money. You know, they might lose a little money on this album or whatever, but they'll change the game. They'll make things a little bit different. And I think that with that influence, man, they're not using it. You know, and hopefully one day.
The lesson.
927. Oh, yeah.